The next gen Xbox is set to dominate the PlayStation 6. Yes, you heard it here and probably many other places. That is what the word on the street is. Again, if you guys remember, or if you were here on Friday night, we debuted our newest segment called CMoney's Rumor Mill. That's right. Special Nick got slapped up by his homies over at Xbox Era. They said you can't have the rumor mill no more. So we said, fuck it. We got the rumor mill now. Okay. And Hargeet went ahead and he dropped some bars about the next gen Xbox versus the next gen PlayStation 6. And there were some leaks that we discussed. But at that time, these leaks were there. But, you know, Hargeet went ahead and, you know, told us what was what turned out to be something that it's a broader now discussion that the Xbox is going to be just way more powerful. And you know, it leads to a lot of talk about what things can be, but now we have a more I guess a way to see it. Ecstasies on Twitter put something out there that I'm going to share with you guys. But for some reason, I guess he did English and Spanish. So he broke translate, because I guess if you put no English, then the translate button pops up and you could just press it and it'll just Twitter will translate it for you. Okay. But if you add English, then it won't translate it, even if it's just one word in English.
Really?
Yeah. So somebody asked Grok to translate it, and that's where we are now. So his Ecstasy's post was breaking. The next Xbox would be more powerful than the PS6. Are we supposed to be
seeing this, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you.
Breaking. The next Xbox would be more powerful than the PlayStation 6, according to leaker Kepler L2. Says PlayStation 6 is around the 9070 XT. And the Xbox around a 5080. Now, why would he compare a 9070 XT, which is AMD, versus a 5080, which is NVIDIA? I don't know. But 5080 is a beast. On RDNA 5. Every feature that Blackwell has, they'll have in RDNA 5, and then even more. And that is one of the big things here, where, you know, I need to find, I feel like for me the difficult thing is talking AMD and NVIDIA, right? So what is the equivalent NVIDIA graphics card to, what was it, 9070 XT, 9700, right?
9070 9070.
9070?
Yeah,
got cracked out. Nope.
XT.
I don't believe it. It is. That's exactly what that says. Okay.
10,900,000.
You know what's fucked up is that I got out of the place that I was.
I was
Googling that.
Okay.
No, I found it. 9070 XT. Okay, 9070 XT. Okay, there we go. Because you know you're gonna have motherfuckers that be like, you got a 5080, but this is a 9070. Okay, so it looks like it's a 5070.
Okay.
A 5070, a 5070 Ti, which is close to a 5080 ish. But that, okay, yeah. So I'm seeing it here, 57. Let me see. Well, it's not quite, because the 70 Ti actually slaps it up a little bit. So I would say closer to a 5070. Okay, closer to 5070. So it is. I mean, obviously, as far as, you know, AMD versus NVIDIA, it doesn't really go to in too much favor of AMD versus Nvidia, right? And Nvidia normally goes, oh my god damn it.
Oh my
No,
god.
not yet. So it being a 5080, I mean, look, it just seems like that is going to be a real nice number for a console to have, but there's other ones as well, where there's a pretty universal conversation being had. Let me see this one over here. Okay, so this one here, let me put this as the Magnus APU, rumored to be powering the Xbox next generation system, will provide a lot of flexibility, allowing Microsoft to scale an entire stack of systems that are more likely to compete with pre-built PCs rather than the PlayStation 6 and other traditional consoles. Damn, it's almost like Xbox is just leaving PlayStation behind in every way possible. Like, it's not just in their plans, but also in the console space. Like they're just saying, you know what? We're gonna make something that is just gonna make it ridiculous for there to even be conversations about these different consoles.
Yeah. It's like not being in the same room, right?
Facts.
Or the same
Facts. This is going to be the biggest thing right here. This is the big fucking crazy thing that Xbox is going to be doing supposedly this gen. That's really going to be a game changer. It says not only does this design featuring separate CPU and GPU dies, that is huge considering that every console for God knows how long has always been on one die. CPU, graphics, CPU, always one spot, one chip. Here, they're separating it, which obviously that's what the big benefit of PC tends to be, where you can go super powerful on a graphics card and have a certain level of the CPU, and they're separate entities. Ooh, I wonder if they're going to let you upgrade. That'd be crazy. They talked about that before, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to like slide in the new card, that would be real crazy.
They did. Phil did.
Yeah, it continues, says steps away from the traditional monolithic design that balances power with cost. It would also be more powerful than anything we have seen so far. That sounds pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. When you line up the conversations around next gen, right?
Yeah.
When you line that conversation up, you see two very different companies talking about this, right? When you see Xbox talking about next gen, definitive, right? They're making definitive statements. This is going to be the biggest technological leap ever happening, right? You have Phil Spencer saying, listen, I don't want you to buy our games because, I mean, our console because of our game that we have locked behind, this wall. I want you to buy our console because it's the best console out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that is what I want, right? That is what I want. And this just all plays into that, right? This plays into them going ahead, moving the game forward, right? Leaving PlayStation alone right where it was before, just doing its own fucking same old thing. Same thing from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, right? It was all the same old shit, tried and true, right? All the same thing. They kept the system mostly the same. They didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want to do anything that was, going to create an issue, right, for anybody else. They don't want anything going too crazy, right? They want to just keep it nice and safe, and that's where they live, right? They just want to keep everything the same, and I'm so ready for Xbox to just continue this movement and keep that shit going. Like, again, look, I don't care who's like any ponies listening. Like, I need you to understand, I don't give a fuck what they sell. Okay. Like, I need you to understand that. And I hate newsflash, Xbox don't give a fuck either, because they are going on their next gen and going OEM as well. Right. So they're going to be putting multiple consoles out there. Y'all worried about what console is going to be powerful or how powerful the PlayStation is going to be versus this console. Bro, the following year, there may be another console that drops that's even more powerful. The year after that, it's all possible, right? It's all possible with Xbox.
It's like they wrote down all of the pony narratives, right? And they're checking them all off. Okay, they're talking power, they're talking games. Like they want to strip them out of their so-called superpowers, right? Where it's such a big gap that it's like undeniable, right? For me, I feel like Satya was like, you're grown now, Xbox. Come join us. It's a different swag. It's a different momentum that they have going on. You mentioned it was Sarah Bonds who said that biggest technological leap. That got me so excited for Phil to come out here. He's been having such confident conversations about everything that they're doing. But when it comes to the console, to say we want the consoles to battle it out, not because people want to go ahead and have access to this game or that game. I said it right from the beginning. Like, this is confidence. I'm excited to see what they're going to go ahead and put out. So everything that they've kind of done, it's been in that direction. I do remember Phil saying we need to get to a point, and this was, way before all of this, that we can just kind of a PC. We can just upgrade certain things by, just switching things out instead of having to buy a complete new box. So I feel like when it comes to tech, when it comes to the software, they're just like in a zone. And we have PlayStation on the other end talking about a pisser and how difficult it was to figure it out, and developers saying we don't know how to work this thing. So that's not promising. I think it's funny, but it's so easy to come out here right now and claim that Xbox is showing up with a powerful console and PlayStation may not hit that mark, right? Because all the signs point to this. Like, this is what we've been talking about, because this is the mess that's going on out there. So yes, like rumors, but it's like so obvious what's taking place here. Yeah, the next box is going to be a freaking beast. Nothing to mess around with. With the games, they're just freaking hitting out the park. Freaking top 6 out of the top 10 on the PlayStation Store. Bro, give it 6 more months.
Facts. I mean, that's the reality, right? We're going to see a lot more on that list once these other games come out, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. They're going to lose their mind. And the idea of any developer coming out here and trying to debate a situation like this, it's embarrassing at this point. I think for them to even try to show up for PlayStation hasn't shown up for you. It's been a while. So
agreed. And Paul Smith mentions it because I do remember, I think we definitely covered it a while ago when it did happen, but he says Phil Spencer did mention a while ago that he would like to see iterations akin to the iPhone, right? And I mean, that's literally the scenario where you're going to be able to be at with this play. Because I mean, look, let's call it a spade, right? The ideas of generations are going to be essentially over, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Fortnite and Minecraft are ever going to drop the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 generation. Or at least it's going to take so long, right? And then whenever that does happen, then you're left with Xbox Series and the PlayStation 5 generation, which is gonna last even longer. You know what I'm saying? It's already been 12 years since the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 dropped.
Yeah. And
that's still getting play now. So you're talking, you have at least what? We're in 2026. It's been 2025. So it's been 5 years since the new consoles dropped. You got at least another 7 years of minimum of Series and PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like being around, right? And I just don't think Xbox gives a shit anymore about this idea of having to go so crazy with making, you know, each generation feel something different, because at this point it's all about the games, right?
Yeah.
So if you now get into this world where you're bringing out a system, and every time you release your own system, it's like your own marker for a generation. Like, okay, our last system we came out with was great, but this is going to be our next one, right? This is the big power jump. But they're not going to be the only ones, right?
Yeah.
The other OEMs can choose to do whatever the fuck they want as far as, going higher or whatever it is. So honestly, we're going to be in a crazy new world, man, where there will be a new console dropping, every year.
Like the phones.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to be what it is. And it's like, you are now going to have the choice where it's like, well, nah, I'll upgrade every 3 years. I'll upgrade every 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll upgrade every year, right? Give me a trade-in program. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking, the phone trade-in program.
Right? I mean, that allows for things like that to happen. Maybe Xbox does it on their own, and you bring one of the Xbox-approved consoles over, and you can trade it in and get credit towards the next one or whatever it is. I mean, there's so many options with it. And again, I'm big on the words that they say, and for Phil to say that I don't want you to buy our console because of the game. I want you to buy it because we have the best box that's out there. That is phenomenal, because again, remember, once you say, we want to have the best box out there, but you're also having OEMs that are coming out to make their box, and now you're creating competition amongst them, right? Yeah. PlayStation gets forgotten in all this scenario, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Not that people are not going to buy it, right? Like, to be clear, there's always people are just going to know PlayStation forever, right? That's not going to change. Or maybe forever. We'll see. But whatever box they come out with, people will buy it because of the name recognition. But like, as far as like just regular mind share amongst the majority of people that are just looking at, like, maybe not the ones that already know a PlayStation, but like everybody else, you're going to be in a scenario where people are just going to see Xbox, the name, everywhere, and it's going to elevate their status. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to make it where it means something more.
I mean, they've positioned themselves so well with like 42 studios to go ahead, and those are the studios that are supposed to kind of push your box capabilities and maximize what you've brought to the table. So I think things are just going to get so crazy. They are definitely building this huge gap between, PlayStation and Xbox. And that's just going to continue because of the situation that PlayStation is in. So we're going to look at Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. So it was always, them two kind of like back and forth, but I think they're isolating themselves and taking it to new heights.
Agreed.
It's going to be undeniable for sure.
Yeah, I think so. And again, just to be clear, like, this is about our experience playing these games, right? You got to remember, on this next Xbox, you're no longer locked away, right? You have every Xbox game that drops. You have your entire Game Pass catalog that's going to be available to you. And then you'll have every Steam game you own. You'll have every Epic game you own. You'll have every, I don't even know what other, GOG, right? All these other platforms on there.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Sure.
It reminds me, and it's a reason why it's so difficult to quit Apple. Everything just connects seamlessly. Your watch, your phone, your iPad, your laptop, your computer. Like, it just all goes so well. And it's so difficult to be outside of that when you just want to find everything in one spot, no matter what you're on. And I feel like that's kind of like the situation that they're creating where you kind of can't leave the ecosystem because it is just where everything kind of gels together.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense if you don't want to, if you're not like a super PC head, right? Like we got some homies in here who love to make PCs and do all that shit. They live that PC life, great, right? But if you're not that, this is going to be your next best entry point, right?
Yeah.
You get the benefits of everything you've ever seen on the internet. Oh, huge Steam sales. Oh man, I wish I could take advantage of huge Steam sales, but I don't play on PC, so nope. Right? Epic Games gives away a free game every week, right? Or 2 free games, or I don't know, some stupid crazy shit like that, right? And then they have sales, right? Like there's so much that happens over there, and let's not forget, PlayStation games will be available whether they bring them directly over to Xbox or through Steam in the PC world, right? So you have literally everything you can ever want to play. Every indie game, every cool indie game that exists that is trying to do something different starts on the PC, right?
Yes.
We've gone to many events where we've talked to these indie developers, and PC is always the one that they're working on, and they're hoping to bring it to PlayStation and Xbox and Switch in the future, right? PC is never left out. Everything else is where you don't know if it's going to come, right? And that is going to allow so many more games to be played on your box. You're going to be exposed to so many more games. And the idea that these developers are going to have way bigger group of people to sell to, right? Like that's going to be a huge thing, right? So it just changes. It just changes everything.
It's so important what you just said about the developers, right? Because that is the line that kind of you always hear. Hopefully when it comes to the consoles, right? So to go ahead and start somewhere and have, from the Xbox community, people being able to just have access without porting the game and putting in all that extra work, especially, the developers that are doing this and don't necessarily have the funds to go ahead and as much as they would want to have everything ready in one shot. So, or they have to wait for the game to do well enough to go ahead and or get wish listed enough. So this is going to be a really big deal for gaming in general, I feel like.
Agreed, 100%. I just feel like it's going to be such a game changer. Just for us as gamers, like fuck all the other nonsense, right? Like I don't give a shit about Xbox versus PlayStation. I mean, it's funny to mock the ponies, but it's just like gamers are winning in such a great way.
Yeah,
where now they're going to have so much more choice available to them. So many more entry points, because you remember they do allow, Hargeet was talking about it, and one of these mentions that it's a whole stack, right? Which means that Xbox, they're gonna have people who make cheap Xboxes.
Yep.
That obviously don't have the same power and fidelity, but they're gonna be out there, right? They're gonna allow for that, which is a huge thing. Let me get some of these super chats, then I want to get Pharaoh in here because I want to hear everything he has to say. But we have our boy, our motherfucking homie, Pragmatic Eagle. Dude, great to see you, my brother. And he went ahead and gifted 10 on point for gamer memberships, man. Thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate you, fam. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yo, thank you so very much, my dude. Y'all know what to do.
Tell them, baby.
Put the motherfucking welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest members, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking out with us, man. Thank y'all so much for being here. And of course, our boy Pragmatic Eagle.
Let's go.
Thank you, my dude. Appreciate you, fam. I do see Web Dave in the building too.
Web Dave.
Thank you for being here, brother.
What's up?
We have the homie Super C Marathon. God damn it.
Oh.
Thank you for that $2 super chat. It says, I can't wait to play my Switch 2. Wahoo. God damn it. He's back with another 2. Nobody told me this mushroom makes me grow for 5 hours. Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
That's real wild. And he's back with another 2 hours. Princess Doodle, 5 hours. I'm intruding. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh my God. That's wild. Thank you, Super C Mario, for that. You got the homie Knight of Cypher with being a member for 4 months. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate your support, man. Says, why get a pisser when you can show off your magnets?
Oh.
Damn.
Yo.
I mean,
the pisser sounds like a leaky situation.
I mean, it does sound like a leaky situation.
Man.
It does.
Wow. Yeah, I mean.
You ain't lying. But yeah, I mean, ultimately that's kind of where we're looking, right? Why get the pisser when you get the Magnus, right? The fact that they're even give it that name, right? It's just
confident.
It's confident,
yes.
Bro. Pharaoh. Tell me, man, what do you think about this?
I mean, I don't know about the actual like 5080 to 9070 XT thing, but I do think that it's inevitable that the next Xbox is more powerful than the PlayStation 6, just mainly because they're going this OEM route, and there's going to be iterations throughout the generation. So PlayStation is going to be in a position where whatever reference hardware they put out is always going to be topped. So even if they drop a PS6 Pro, it'll probably 6 months later, it's probably going to be another Xbox coming out. It may not be made by Xbox, but it'll be more powerful than whatever they have coming out. I mean, I think it's a very exciting proposition, especially if we get to the point where don't let one of these OEM developers or even Xbox let you like kind of make your own custom build. Because they like Xbox has a agreement with AMD for all of this stuff. So if, for instance, Asus lets you do your own build on their own website, like build your own Xbox, but you can go with an NVIDIA build, that's a game changer. And then I've also heard talks that this particular console, for the first time, the CPU and the GPU are going to be separate, which
that's what we just talked about.
Which is gonna leave open the window for you to put whatever GPU in you prefer, whether it's a laptop 5090 or like. So even after you get it, if it doesn't have the GPU one in it, there's a world where you can still put the GPU of your preference inside of it. So I think it's very exciting. I think the next Xbox being more powerful than the PS5 is just a no-brainer. It's just a matter of how this ecosystem comes together with unifying these stores. They do everything right. This is going to be a console that even starts to appeal to the international community. That's what I think. And I think at that point, PlayStation starts taking a bit of a hit into their market share. I won't say a lot because people already have their libraries. If it comes to a point where, I mean, I think PlayStation should have done this a long time ago, but if it comes to the point where they said they've been working on a PlayStation app, if they come up with a PlayStation app and you can somehow, get your PlayStation library everywhere, like the same way you get your Xbox library everywhere, then yeah, it would be a problem. I think so, at least. I think it'd be a big problem for PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just nice to see, with how this generation started and, with COVID and everything kind of just hit, like just plateau. It's just nice to see how Xbox has been able to turn it all around and
yeah, for sure,
kind of end this strong. And I can't even imagine how we're going to get started.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like this is really an exciting time, right? Like this is something that we never, imagined would be real, right? Like who knew that something like this will come up? But the fact that they are going ahead and, pushing forward with, remember, like, I know there's like rumors out there, right? This is all a rumor and shit, but like there are facts that have been already stated. Like remember Steam, all that shit that's coming to Xbox. Like all your stores will be available to you. Okay, so
Yep.
the fact that that is already guaranteed, that is the truth, that is out there already, like gives everything else that much more credence, where it's just like that is, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Why stop at just making the next gen? Why not make it? I mean, to be clear, we already 100% see this happening.
Yeah.
They already, again, confirmed 100%. ROG Ally, the ROG Xbox Ally, and the ROG Xbox Ally X. They are already showing you that they have an OEM plan in place. Do you think that's going to be only for handhelds? No, not at all. You're going to go ahead and see this happen throughout all of the Xbox ecosystem. And they are going to create something that is just never been done before, and frankly can only be done by them. Because you got to remember, all of these PCs, right, that are out there in the world are all done with Windows, right? Outside of the few that are not, right? So obviously Apple has their own chip, but Windows is the dominant, right? And Windows, every time one of these OEMs make a PC, Windows get a cut from the license, right? Well, guess what? When Xbox puts out their box, they're going to get their cut, right? When Asus puts out an Xbox, they're going to get their cut. We're saying Asus is going to make one because they already make the ROG Ally, right? So it's going to happen, right? So as all of these different entities keep releasing theirs, that's what's going to happen. And all of this does, all of this makes it so that we as a community have choice, we have power to go ahead and purchase from whatever store we want. If Steam is cooking on some sales right now and that's where you want to play your shit, you go over there, get that. If cloud and Xbox Play Anywhere is what's important to you, you buy the game on Xbox, you buy it and get the PC version, whatever you want. Like all of this stuff is, all it does is gives the customer the power of choice.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't force anything on you, allows you to do it. The next step is going to be, and I tend to believe that this is what's going to happen. I tend to believe that Xbox is going to open up their platform to any controller that you want to use.
That would be a very smart move.
And
I think that already happens in October with the handheld, because it's going to be
Facts. Yes. I mean, that's technically true, right? So the handheld is going to allow that for sure, which means one of the biggest hurdles for diehard PlayStation fans, I'm not talking about the ponies, okay? I'm not talking about the ponies. Diehard PlayStation fans, one of the biggest hurdles for them
is the controller.
So if you now put these people in a position where they can buy the most powerful box that's a console out there, and that console gives them access to every game, including the system they would be leaving behind, which is the PlayStation's games.
Some of them in Game Pass, potentially.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Some of them potentially.
I mean, we're not trying to twist a knife, but
I mean, it's true, though.
You do listen to Hiroki and Herman, and it seems like your PlayStation games are coming.
Facts. I mean, that's just the reality of what it is. So, I mean, ultimately, this is a scenario where Xbox is creating a win-win-win for everyone who wants to get involved, right? And that's including, to be clear, right? That's including PlayStation. PlayStation is going to win from this as well, because when you buy those games, you're still getting in the cut. If you prefer the PlayStation controller and they allow you to use it, and you buy PlayStation controllers, they're getting the cut, right? So it allows them to win regardless.
Yeah.
Right. I just think this is
even
a beautiful thing, man.
listen, even if you're not winning, right, this would be a win. So to get any type of money, that 30% they're getting from Xbox, now they're porting their games with the controller, whatever they can get, it's necessary. Hiroki's really gonna like that money.
Now, my question is, for anyone in the know, right? So I'm not talking about like the mindless, you know, and when I say mindless, I'm saying as far as like in gaming world.
Yeah.
Right. The people who don't know shit. They're just like, oh, PlayStation, sure, bye. Right. Because they don't know, they don't follow. They just know, oh, there's a new PlayStation out. I'm gonna play Call of Duty or Madden or whatever the fuck. For everyone else in the know, what makes you buy a PlayStation over the next Xbox?
Nothing.
Can you think of any?
Library and fandom. That's about it.
The controller would be a big deal. They love that. We just had a conversation, where, you know, they couldn't let the controller go, and that was the problem with the switching up, right? So once that is also checked out, I think I just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Like honestly, what can you even? I know, Farrell, you just said what did you say again? What would you be?
Just fandom. Like that. That'd be pretty much
own the next PlayStation.
Because in the scenario of, even if you're a person that doesn't go back to your backlog and play those old games, like if those aren't important to you, you got Game Pass to like where like you don't have to. When you buy a new console, you don't have to start over with building your library. You don't feel the pressure to start over. Like, oh, I got to buy 10 games out the rip. No, you buy the console.
That's the beauty of Game Pass, though. You get the console, you sign up for Game Pass, and there you already have an instant like library, and that's like kind of covering their bases. You don't come in with that mentality of having to build. It's just there, and I think, I don't know if it's all of them, but some of them have like free Game Pass for X amount of time.
Usually when you buy a new console, you get a month, I think.
Yeah.
Pragmatic. I gotta go to Pragmatic Eagle because this is a situation. I think he's drugs. Drugs would be
the reason.
Yeah,
I get that.
Drugs could definitely be a reason.
Heavy one.
That definitely checks out. No, I think again, outside of the casuals, right, who are just flocking to PlayStation because they don't know any better.
Night of Cypher says following the crowd.
Yeah. But again, that's more of like the casuals, right? I'm talking about like the hardcore people, like the people who follow this, right? The people who are in the know. And they're like not mindless ponies who are just gonna do whatever. You know, I'm talking about like that middle ground. So the people who follow, but they're not sucking Sony off.
So
right?
I think the it's a tough one because I think Sony has dropped the ball so many times, and I think they saw it, even though you know, they tricked a few ponies, but like we haven't heard about the pisser and what is done. So I think they saw it when they went ahead and put out that pisser, that people are not just willing to just hand over money as easily as they once were, trusting in the brand. I think that the generation never picked up for them, and that's tough, because if you go ahead and you buy a console for the games and the games aren't there, and the games that they were working on are getting canceled, like what do we have? They're down to one game a year and the path is not looking promising. Xbox games, you can play those Xbox games now in Game Pass if they come out with another console, if it's a controller and they fix that as well. Like I feel like that trust with PlayStation has worn out. You have to be, again, like a pony to the like even the ponies can have still come to out of La La Land and kind of see what the heck is taking place. But some are just at a whole other level, which, you know, we got into that. I think it was during Thursday's show it was a lot of crazy
Yeah, a
that
lot of
we got
crazy.
to see,
A lot of
that
crazy.
whole other trail of gallopers. But you know, some of them are kind of still in going through the stages. Some of them have come to their senses and kind of realized, they've expressed moments of frustration. So, you know, I can't imagine a regular player that came in to buy what they're going to put out for the generation. And it's like, this is it? Another remaster of The Last of Us? Like, how many
it's gonna be
times
tough.
are we supposed to play through this?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I see Becca says she's a rare flower though, because she left her little digital library on PlayStation.
That's my girl.
I mean, you know, not everybody's attached to their old shit. And you know, I mean, you don't, it's not like you have to burn your whatever PlayStation you had. Like if you have a digital library, that means you already have a PlayStation. You don't have to get rid of your PlayStation. You could just let it sit there looking stupid.
Big boy Mike boxed that.
He boxed that shit and got it out of his house.
Out.
He was not
so done. So
he was
done.
not fucking around.
That was hilarious. That was awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I think we have a lot of exciting shit. I'm still hopeful that come Gamescom, we're gonna get a sneak peek at next gen, right? The next gen console, because you know, we talked about it a few shows ago, whatever, that last time they did this, they announced it during the June showcase, but they didn't, because that time they also had some stuff at FanFest.
Yeah.
Whereas now, FanFest is in August. FanFest is at Gamescom. So maybe this is the time, right? They're going to show some Call of Duty. They're going to show, we don't know what's going to go on. I know we're getting hands-on, you know, they're getting hands-on on the Xbox Ally X and probably the regular one. I mean, I think we're getting there, guys. 2026 next console. I think it's going to get time to show, you know, Xbox is going to show their hand a bit. I'm pumped.
So that has to be. I can't imagine, you know, as a gamer sitting over on the other side, and like they've been talking about a show for I don't know how long. It was super top secret, and it's like how many times do you have to be let down? And it's not like a general thing. I think that's the biggest highlight and the biggest thing to take from it, because when you see the other side doing so well, it's like it's just. You're the only ones with holes on your ship, right? So are you going to jump off, or are you just going to drown in there? We know ponies aren't swimmers.
Facts.
My mind went elsewhere on that one.
We know ponies aren't swimmers.